America too, where they say, don't get married to get a relationship until you're stable. Obviously, I understand why most people have to do that, but why can't you be in a relationship and build together with somebody? Why is it like, okay, now that you reached the finish line, then you need to get into a relationship? Why not build with the person that you're with? For some reason, people believe that you need to provide everything when you get married. Just because you're married doesn't mean that you need to immediately, or like the wife, for example, needs to move out of her parents' house.
A woman like that's 1 in a million. It's impossible to find. A woman who supports their man when they are in their hardest stage is almost impossible to find.
Well, you know, the Prophet said something about this, right? So the Prophet said there was one time a man that came to the Prophet and he said that, you know, I'm struggling with wealth. He said, get married. He's like, well, what do you mean? I'm struggling with wealth. He's like, no, get married. So he gets married and then he went to the Prophet. He's like, hey, I'm still struggling with wealth. He's like, get married again. He said, well, imagine, he barely has any money and the Prophet said, get married again. Then he got married again and then the wealth came. You know what I'm saying? So it's through the spouse, it's through the children that the wealth comes. Usually people, they abort their children, they do stuff like that because of lack of money. But the reality is we don't provide for our kids. The Creator is one who provides for the kids. You know, a lot of people that are wealthy, if you ask them, it's after their children are born, that's when all the wealth comes. And they're hoping to get everything before that even happens. They're like, okay, let me get to the finish line. The finish line is during like the family stage. You know what I mean? While you have a wife, when you have children, that's when God starts providing for you. Because it's not just for you now. Now it's for more people. You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
Because imagine you're rich and you're single. That's like who are you taking care of? It's going to be for selfish desires.
Yeah.
Now that's a big problem. You know why? I'm sure you can agree to this. Seeing you've been in social media for a while, you guys have been in social media for a while. Have your perspective of career and social media changed you as an individual, or has it maintained the same?
Perspective?
Yeah. Of you as a person, has it changed?
Of course. I mean, I think overall it is the same. The major thing I realize is how rare loyalty is, how much betrayal you'll find. And I think what's unique to this generation is how much we value things like money and how that's pretty much replaced relationships, and that's become, I think, a major priority in previous generations were having kids and having a family. Now the main driving function for people is money, career, career oriented. And when that becomes the priority, loyalty is rare and betrayal is common. And that has, I think I was, you know, like when a girl from Wisconsin moves to the big city, like, hey, I'm in New York, and she's like super excited, and then she gets hit by a car. That's how I kind of feel. Like, I think I approach the world with like, oh, I'm just going to be me. I'm just going to be, you know, open, genuine, and like meet everybody and do all this stuff. And then it's just boom, over and over and over again. The world tries its best to just kill that spirit.
But you're stronger.
Yeah. I mean, thank you. I'm not trying to glaze myself. I think though that if I had there's been lots of moments where I could have become really bitter, and I see why a lot of people do. You know, it's a ruthless, cutthroat, every man for himself world. But you learn proper lessons and you become better from it. You know, I'm happy about that. But overall, I think the perspective is the same. What about you?
It's changed a lot. When I first started social media, I did it because I want money. But now, I want power.
What type of power?
Power to change things, power to have a voice, power to make a difference.
What type of difference do you want to make?
Well, I make educational videos, bro. I teach about science and space. So
The vibe changed so quick. It's like, oh shit. It's like,
So-
oh crap.